I want to shift the discussion a little bit. And before we do, though, Miles, if you would please post the second poll question for our audience, we'll hopefully get to that response in a little bit. Narinder, I would like to start with you. I want to talk about risk and how to specifically minimize it when it comes to process automation. You know, what are the ways, the keys to risk minimization for process automation from your perspective?
I think it's a similar question around scalability. These are custom one-on-one processes and uh, patient batch manufacturing here with processes that were designed by academic labs and turning them into industrial scale, high throughput processes require a holistic approach, like I mentioned before. Now, just like Craig mentioned, there's a lot of work left for people like us, our process scientists, our process engineers, to work through all these details and what looks like a holy grail here, defining a maybe allogeneic construct manufacturing process that can cure people once for all and is available, ready to be dosed anytime. But until we get there, we still have to make the current autologous platform work. So in this case, the risks come from, like Craig mentioned, the patient material availability, the reagents, the media, he was talking about, and understanding all these different sources of variabilities, addressing them. Not everything requires automation, but many places automation will help. Automation will definitely help in operator to operator variability, especially around repetitive tasks. Automation will definitely help around contamination risks where you have open processing and you can close down those processing. And automation can also help in reducing cycle times so that you can actually process more from the same plant. So those are the things on my mind.
Good. Okay. And I'm actually glad you did bring up CAR T specifically. We'll be touching on that in just a little bit. But before we do, Craig, talk to us from your perspective on how to truly minimize risk. I guess, is it even possible to truly minimize risk? But what are the ways that we're working toward it?
No, I think, well, Narinder made a lot of the same good points, but obviously closing systems and reducing the number of manual manipulations is critical. I think one thing that's overlooked is, at least myself, I can only concentrate on a few things at a time. I'm assuming I'm not the only person in the world that's like that. So by automating some of the routine steps, you get to really train people of what's critical, what might happen, and look out for what might happen and avoid risk when you're seeing it early so you can intervene. And building an automation strategy that says, if these are the risky areas, how do I know something is going wrong? And do I have a built-in the flexibility that I can intervene and have operators really trained on that intervention step? Because it typically, at least in my past, we have seen that there's certain devices that have, 33% of our deviations are because of a simple device. You show that to the vendors, then they're shocked that that's happened, but every operator on the floor knows that's where the problem is. So it's really focusing on those individual steps and either correcting the automation or simplifying it. And I do think that's one of the key areas that we have to help people understand is at this time, a complex automation is the wrong answer. I think it's how do you keep it as simple as possible so that you can really learn and have the intervention steps that you need to do.